So good morning, one and all. I, Engineer Sunita Kotwal, welcome you all to the session 1, day 3 of the 6-day online STTP. Our expert of this session is Dr. Ravindra Khaiwal ji from PGIMER, that is Postgraduate Institute of Medical Science and Research, Chandigarh. We welcome you, sir, from core of our heart. And let me first introduce Dr. Ravindra Khaiwal ji with all of you. Dr. Ravindra Khaiwal is currently working as Additional Professor of Environment Health at Department of Community Medicine, School of Public Health, PGIMER, Chandigarh. After working around 5 years as scientist at the University of Hertfordshire, United Kingdom, he also had visiting professor positions at the University of Antwerp, Belgium, and University of Padova, Italy. Dr. Ravindra has an outstanding academic record and obtained a degree of science from University of Antwerp, Belgium. He has authored more than 150 articles, including original research papers, review, and book chapters. Some of his articles are listed as highly cited by ISI Web of Science. His articles are cited around 10,000 times. He has a HIRSCH factor of 40 based on the Scoopers and other sources. He wrote, edited 6 books in the field of environmental sciences. He has guided 8 PhD, 1 DM, and 4 MD students. Currently, he is supervising 5 PhD and 2 MD students. Dr. Khaiwal developed the Health Adaptation Plan for Diseases Due to Air Pollution and Climate Change under the National Program of Air Pollution and Climate Change. His department is the Center for Excellence on Air Pollution and Climate Change under the National Mission on the Health under Prime Minister Council of Climate Change, Ministry of Health, India. He is also the nodal facilitator for DHR Fellowship Training Program in the area of environment health. Dr. Khaiwal also served as an expert in National Green Tribunal cases. He is also a core group member to develop methodology guidelines related to the health risk assessment under the Ministry of Health, India. Dr. Ravindra has received several awards for scholarship in the field of environmental health. He has won the Environmentalist of the Year 2007 around the globe, award by National Environmental Science Academy, NESA, India, who was the finalist of elsewhere NASI Scopus 2014 Young Scientist Award. In 2018, he was awarded IVLP Fellowship by the US Department of State, USA. He was honored with P.N. Raju Orientation Award in 2019 in Public Health Environment by Indian Council of Medical Research, New Delhi, India. Recently, he has been listed among the top 1% environmentalist scientists from the India, having Indian ranking as 7th and international as 176 by Stanford University. His research interest includes health risk assessment, chemical characterization, composition of pollutants, source apportionment, and mitigation policies for persistent and emerging pollutants, including global climate change and environmental impact assessment. He has already worked on several international projects such as Inter-REG, EXPER, ENVIRISK, CAIR, H4 Health, HENVINET, Megapoly, MEGAPOLY, and Transform. He is currently working as an associate partner in UK EU projects for jointly acquired funding of over $750,000 to the Department of Community Medicine and School of Public Health. Dr. Ravindra is serving various international journals and grant commissions as a referee He is also member of the editorial board of International Journal of Environment and Waste Management, Soil, Air and Water Research Forum, Geographic Journal of Environmental Biology, Aerosol and Air Quality Research, Environmental Monitoring and Assessment, and Frontiers in the Sustainable Cities. We welcome you, sir, to this 6-day online short-term training program. So now, may I request Dr. Ravindra Khaiwal ji to please proceed, to please continue with his today's expert lecture. So please mute yourself. Sorry, unmute yourself.
Is it fine now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good morning, all. Let me first thank the organizer for inviting me to this very important, I can say, workshop where we are talking about air pollution, climate change, and specifically on water security. The introduction was very, I will say, great, but I am not that a kind of a person. I simply do my task and try to put work in a perspective. Like you will see at the end of this presentation that we are not anymore focusing on major publication. Of course, we do that, but mainly on now talking to the communities. So maybe as your participants are joining, can I try to play audio video clip for a short
Yes,
while?
yes, sir.
Let me see if we can. Are you able to see this? And this is based on a movie known as Inconvenient Truth. And I'm showing you the trailer. Who would like to tell more detail about
Okay, sir.
it? इसकी एक एक्स्ट्रा कॉपी और दे दो.
Audio is not audible.
वहाँ के लिए भी करवा दो.
So it's not audible.
I will share this clip later on, but at least let us enjoy this images for a while, which speak 1,000 words.
Okay, sir.
Temperature increases are taking place all over the world, and that's causing stronger storms. This is the biggest crisis in the history of this country. Early this morning, Hurricane Katrina slammed into New Orleans. Is it possible that we should prepare against
सर सिर्फ पीपीटी आपकी जो क्लाइमेट चेंज और एयर पोल्यूशन अडेप्टेशन वो सिर्फ शो हो रही है स्क्रीन पे और जो ऑडियो है वो भी बहुत ही धीमे आवाज में सुन रहा है सर.
Okay, you mean to say that you are not able to see the video?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sea level worldwide will go up 20 feet. This is what would happen in Florida. Around Shanghai, almost 40 million people. The area around Calcutta, 60 million. Here's
For me,
the World Trade Center Memorial would be underwater. Think of the impact of a couple 100,000 refugees, and then imagine 100 million. We have to act together to solve this global crisis. Our ability to live.
Is it fine now? Hello? Hello? Good morning. Can you see the screen now at least?
Sir, आपका जो face है, that is visible, not the PPT or not the video, any other
Okay.
video. You are visible.
Okay. Let me try again then, and I will see if I can play the video.
Okay,
Because
okay, sir, no
yeah.
problem.
Or I think it's better if we go ahead with the presentation so that and I will share that video later on. So can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir. Screen is visible. Climate change and air pollution adaptation.
Okay. Good morning all. This is Dr. Ravindra Khaiwal. I am additional professor at PGI Chandigarh. My department is Department of Community Medicine and School of Public Health. And those who live in Chandigarh, probably they hear me every day on the radio when we talk about how is the air quality today and how it will be in the near future. So we work on these aspects. And as introduced by my colleague from MRSPTU, we work on basically air pollution, climate change. And recently we have been awarded at Center of Excellence by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. We are also working as a nodal, you can say, center for National Clean Air Program. And I'm heading those, you can say, chair. Another thing I would like to highlight that we think that this climate change and air pollution, okay, these are the natural phenomena and how they will impact us. So that is not the case, because I could have shown you the video that there's scientific evidence emerging which shows that air pollution basically and climate change, they are really impacting our environment. I have seen that there are many engineers and many common, you can say, background participant also. But what we need to understand that there is a earth energy budget, which means that if there is 100 unit coming in term of energy, then 100 unit will go out, but earth will manage its temperature around 17.23 degrees centigrade. Because you may say that it's very hot in near Amritsar or Bathinda, but that is not the case. This is talking about the average earth temperature. In this slide, basically, we wanted to show you that how these incoming solar radiation are being managed and then how they are going out. So if that changes, basically, that will lead into the major increase in the, you can say, temperature. So as I said, there are significant scientific evidence. We have seen these IPCC report, which are highlighting that climate change is a reality and it will impact not only us, but our future generation. And if we don't act now, then it will be too late. Why it will be too late? This is the report which highlight that we need to restrict the global warming to maximum 1.5 degree. When I'm talking about 1.5 degree, again, this is in the global mean temperature, basically, or average temperature. Now, you might be happy to learn that US, who was not part of Paris Agreement, where this 1.5 degree agreement was reached, they are also part of it. So what will be the consequences? Look at this image. It shows very clearly that if the temperature is up to 1 degree, so you can read on my right hand side, white indicate that no impact are detectable and attribute to climate change. But as we move, it is basically moderate. Means yellow indicate that impact risk are detectable and attributable to climate change and will they will last at least if we don't act for a longer period. Then red indicates severe and widespread impact and risk of climate change. And now you are seeing these scenarios, RFC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means, so they are various scenarios. But there is something common in these, you can say, scenarios or reason for concern, that they all predict that if we reach 1.5 degree, there will be a serious or very high consequences of climate changes, and that may actually compromise our ability to survive. So I would like to list all these things here. So we know that there is a climate change. It is mainly because of the increasing level of CO2, rising temperature that is there. Then more you will see the extreme weather and rising sea level. When we talk about these changes, we need to understand that they may not be equal at all places. Where there is a population which is vulnerable, that will be at higher risk of impact. So in this, we see that this will lead to changes like air pollution, change in vector ecology, increasing allergy, water quality impact, water and food supply impact, environmental degradation, extreme heat, and severe weather. Like you might have seen that we receive the same amount of precipitation or rainfall as we used to do in the last, you can say, previous years. But the intensity and duration change. What does it mean? It means that if we have 10 mm of rain, having that rain for over a period of 1 day or 24 hours, that will be in 1 hour and or in few minutes. And this extreme weather phenomena result in the sudden flash or flood in the region. So this is what we are seeing more often. As you also notice that there are various cyclone impacting, there is a flood being reported. So or there is a extreme, like from 2009, what I am observing is that the top 10 hottest year were in last you can say 12 years. So this shows that yes, this is reality and it will impact, and we have sufficient scientific evidence. Now taking about these example, you know that severe weather, when it happen, it cause injuries, fatalities, and mental health impact. Another, if we talk about extreme heat, it linked to the heat related illness and death, including cardiovascular fear. You can say failure because you are exhausted by the heat. We have conducted a study in Chandigarh where we linked the all cause excess mortality associated with the extreme heat event. Then environmental degradation means you can say that there is a forced migration. If the environment is degraded, the people will move, and there will be more civil conflict like we are seeing at the border region of our India and specifically towards the Bangladesh. And when you move from one location to another location, you know that it results in significant mental health impact. Again, coming to water and food supply impact, you know that air pollution, this or climate change will not only impact, you can say health, but it will also impact the crop productivity. Somewhere it may promote the productivity, but at the same time, overall, it will reduce the production, and that will result in the, you can say, proper food supply and will yield malnutrition. And because of the poor water quality, the impact of diarrheal disease may increase. And you know that when there is a water quality impact, there will be more, you can say, harmful bacteria, viruses that who can survive in these kind of the environment. It also affect this pollen season and others, so there will be more respiratory allergens, leading to, you can say, short-term compromise in the lung health capabilities, means asthma. Then if we change vector ecology, it means there will be more water based or waterborne or water associated disease like malaria, dengue, encephalitis, hantavirus, or lymph disease. So these are the impact which the climate could affect us. Now I will discuss a little bit more about this air pollution and linked COPD or asthma. Why normally we say air pollution and climate change? You will see that I'm listing here the key air pollutant: carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone, nitric oxide, ammonia, nitrogen dioxide, VOCs, or particulate matter. These are the pollutant who are the major climate forcer also. What does it mean? Basically, they are responsible for the climate change. If we talk about carbon dioxide, that is the major, and that you can say from the carbon, you can say fossil fuel emission, the carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, they produced, and they are major forcer. Similar way, you can also see this. So that is why we link this air pollution and climate change quite often. Now, which pollutant play major role or minor role, we can see here, because some may also play as a positive role. So there are clear evidence that halocarbon, oxide of nitrogen, methane, and carbon dioxide, they play a very, you can say, clear role in global warming. Whereas if we talk about stratospheric ozone, that is a cooling down impact. Similar way, sulfate, biomass burning, that depend means which type of emission. So there is an uncertainty related to this. Then aerosol indirect effect, land use, albedo only. So they have some positive impact, but the net impact we will talk about, like tropospheric ozone, black carbon from fossil fuel burning, while organic may be cooling, but black is heating up, mineral dust. They play both positive and negative role, because they you can say disperse some of the radiation, and then we are still not very much clear about you can say contrails, or you can say about the cirrus clouds. And of course we know that solar radiation that also lead to change in this energy budget. Now, there was a global burden of disease, and at the same time, there was a Commission on Environment and Occupational Health, which linked based on various scenario, Institute of Health Metrics, you can see, and environment, and World Health Organization scenario, and all of these are shown here. They agreed that it could lead, means air pollution could lead more than 7 million deaths, whereas water up to 2 million deaths. Where of course these you can say different scenario generate different estimate, but we know that yes, the minimum the maximum range. At the same time, you will see that there are also occupational and other associated with soil, chemical, and metals. So looking at this, basically, you will see that air pollution, if we, in term of India, this is global scenario, but in term of India, you will see household air pollution and ambient air pollution, they could be the number one cause of mortality or morbidity. Why I'm saying this, basically, first of all, we need to understand that there are emerging evidence which linked and which provide evidence that air pollution kills. First was that in 2013, WHO declared soot or black carbon, or you can say diesel exhaust, as non-human carcinogen. There are several categories like non-carcinogenic, probable human carcinogen, possible human carcinogen, and then after sufficient evidence, International Agency on Carcinogenic Research, basically they declare means which substance is a non-human carcinogen. So we know that air pollution exhaust, they contain non-human carcinogen. But why we do not take it on a priority? Reason being, it is a risk factor. What is a risk factor? Like physical inactivity is a risk factor. Like dietary, you can say type of diet basically is a risk factor. Means sedentary lifestyle. Similar way, if you take alcohol and other, they are also risk factor. They do not directly cause, but they lead to the cardiovascular or you can say stroke, cancer, COPD, asthma, disease. So that is why there is a somewhere causation and this risk factor issues that they were not on priority, but I was pleased to see today newspaper from Haryana where they are talking about air pollution and its health effect. So when we go to the community and we ask, oh, do you understand what are the risks associated with air pollution? They will simply say, oh, it might be that it may affect our respiratory symptoms. But here you can see that it is linked with other health issues like stroke, ischemic heart disease, and then cancer. So when we see air pollution, it is only 25% which is related to the respiratory disorder, whereas rest is for cardiovascular diseases. Now, if we think that I live in a big city or I live in a rural area, so probably if I live in a city, it will not impact much, or if I live in a, I think we need to clear it out that it will impact all and nobody will be spared. Think about like these conditions, drought, flood, heat wave, and they will increase. And when they increase, basically, they will disrupt our food, air, and water supply. And now there are clear estimate that between 2030 and 50, there will be additional 2.5 lakh deaths just because of malaria, malnutrition, diarrhea, and heat stress in you can say country like India and those who are more vulnerable. Actually, who pays the cost of it? Those who are poor, those who are living in a, you can say already in a compromised state or in the environment. So we need to adapt and we need for that adaptation, basically we help government of India to develop a health adaptation plan for air pollution related disease and climate change. So to minimize this burden of death and disease each state, so we developed a kind of a baseline and then each state will develop their own network to address the associated health issues. So what and how it will be beneficial? As you know that if you work for this, you will be gaining in terms of mortality, morbidity, and climate sensitive disease. And then means you will be minimizing their impact. And then these will also help to minimize the air pollution and air pollution related diseases. And then you are conducting vulnerability assessment, which I will be talking about further. And then you can also minimize those disease and risks. So if we talk about vulnerability mapping, looking at the air pollution, you know that there were 120 cities which were identified based on the available data that they are non-attainment cities, means they exceed the air pollution than the prescribed, you can say yearly standards. So we also understand that air pollution is a major risk factor for respiratory and cardiovascular disease. So there is a need to build a linkage. And that is why the government of India launched this National Clean Air Program. And I hope you are aware on 15th of August last year, our Prime Minister said that it will be a mission. So from program to mission means there will be a more focus on the activities and there will be a strict guideline to achieve the goal. Because NCAP goal was to minimize 20 to 30% of particulate pollution in, you can say, these non-attainment cities of India. And Chandigarh is one of them, and there are 7 cities in Punjab. So talking about this vulnerability mapping, it means you have to identify where there are higher risk and plan accordingly. So what this slide shows that you can run, but you cannot hide, because at one place you have one problem, at other problem you have another problem. So it is highlighting this pollution, ozone, forest fire. I hope you are aware that this year the America is paying a high cost of climate change, and there is a frequent forest fire in California region, and we have seen the biggest fire in Australia last year, and that was disaster, complete disaster, and it is estimated that means 50 million species might have lost their lives. So you can imagine the impact. So these are the risks which are increasing. So how we can manage these risks? We can minimize using a particular hierarchy, that is a risk reduction hierarchy. Means level 1 means you eliminate source of air pollution, like that we can utilize crop residue in a better way, and we don't need to burn it. Government of India recently moved from BS4 to BS6, means there is a significant reduction in exhaust emission. When you have done this, basically it will include some costing, and that is why the price slightly increase in for the vehicle, but will in long term get the cleaner environment. At the same time, we can minimize this non-exhaust emission. So what is this non-exhaust emission? These non-exhaust emission which are not coming from the tailpipe, but when a vehicle move, you see the tire dust, road dust when you sweep another. So these are also important part of air pollution, and our recent study shown that in Delhi these non-exhaust emissions are the major source of air pollution, whereas similar work I conducted in UK, and that was the pioneer work about the non-exhaust emission, and showing that in London basically the non-exhaust emission dominate the exhaust emission. So we need to work on the elimination of the source. At the same time, we can think about having proper you can say horticulture, so that the soil which deposit around that is settled. So proper plantation also help to minimize this non-exhaust emission. Then substitution of air pollution sources. Like we know that there could be electric vehicles, clean fuel like CNG. Under PMUI, we are also providing free LPG cylinder to the vulnerable and the poor or below poverty line population. Now, some people say, okay, electric, if we are talking about, it is causing emission at somewhere else. That is very true. If it is causing emission somewhere else, but we are using the standard technology, means from line source to point source, and there is a better management of air pollution in line than in a pint. In a pint, you can use electrostatic precipitator, or you can use other devices, bag house, or so that you minimize that. So this is the reason that we are promoting electric vehicle. Number 3 is the isolation change work method, means flexible working hour, so that we don't see this traffic jam situation. And I hope you are aware that these red lights are the hot spot of air pollution, or you can say climate forcer. We can minimize our household energy, and we can also make use of solar and other you can say source of energy for our household energy need. Then we can use carpooling or idling situation need to be ensured when vehicle is not in use. Then you can also go for environmental friendly agriculture technology. Then the 4th level come to engineering to minimize air pollution, means you increase chimney height. So basically you are doing nothing but diluting, mechanical sweeping. That means you are cleaning the roads and all these things, sprinkling water to settle them down. You are minimizing or using the practices which are for clean construction. And I hope you have seen that in China, when the air pollution was very high, they even did the cloud seeding, because that resulted in rain scavenging of the air pollutant. I hope you know that there are 3 key or major mechanisms to minimize air pollution. One and key foremost is gravitational setting, means these particles, they collide to each other and then become bigger in size and settle down because of the gravitational force. Second is rain scavenging. That is why after rain, you could see far away mountain region, like from Chandigarh, we see could see up to far away. Then the third one is snow scavenging, which means that snow, when it fall, it also take away these particles or associated semi-volatile organic compound. And last one is the use of personal protective equipment. Like we are using these goggles, respirators, or you can say domestic air purifier. But these are the last resort. They are not the solution of air pollution. So we need to be very serious about reducing air pollution from the level 1 hierarchy, then level 5. But what we see in the current environment, that most of the time that this is the focus remain on the level 5 or the last resort. Even in Chandigarh, I heard about this, that there will be use of these air filters. When I think you know that air pollution depend on many factors, depending from ventilation coefficient to meteorological condition, and all these things will impact. So it might be useful for that hotspot like red light, but it will not be very useful for the whole area. So what can be done, and we will discuss more in detail. So this is air quality index. Air quality is nothing but basically showing that there are 7 key pollutant and bringing them together in one scale, so that people simply look at the color, good, moderate, unhealthy, unhealthy, and very unhealthy. And they contribute. At the same time, the government also contribute for the reduction. So I hope you are aware that government of Punjab initiated Tandurust Punjab mission, means healthiest state with the healthy people, and they are promoting sustainable growth through healthy policies. So their focus is remain on this reduction in air pollution and maintaining health. So you can contribute into this mission Tandurust of the Punjab government for healthier and better life. Then we are also working out with various organizations and promoting hospitals. Like we initiated a PGIMER project, Climate and Health Air Monitoring Project, under which basically health facilities were, you can say, trained, and they were communicating of air pollution. Means they when a doctor talk about air pollution, when a nurse talk about air pollution, I think that will impact more. So we are building our course material, and they are taking participation in these activities. So the health facilities are now talking more about air pollution and reducing air pollution. So this is when you even visit next time PGI, you may also see some of these kind of activities where your lung is shown in Delhi. On my left hand side, basically you see this white clean lung image, and after filtering the air. And these are the true images, because I talked to many surgeons like Dr. Arvind Kumar, and they say that when a person from Himachal or other area comes, their lungs look complete white, whereas those who live in the city, they are blackish like this. I have such images, but I thought to avoid at this moment. Now talking about how further we can go, it is like extending health sector responsibilities. Nowadays, we are engaging auxiliary nursery, midwife, or accredited social health worker, or Anganwadi worker, even chokidar for clean air. So what we do is that we motivate them and what role they can play. So that simple role, if you talk about, they can say that try to make use of clean fuel, means LPG. And then they talk about addressing crop residue burning and how they means they can avoid fine, but they can contribute for the productivity, means their yield will increase in terms of the total crop production. And at the same time, their health will be better. Because when we talk about crop residue burning, it is not that it is causing pollution in Delhi or Chandigarh, it is mainly because first, their sole productivity is affected. Second, their livestock is affected. And most important, their children, their vulnerable population is affected by these pollution sources. People say that is there a relationship between waste management and air pollution or climate reduction management? Yes, there is a key, you can say, role. In any city or a rural area, the burning of this municipal waste or common waste is contributing 20 to 30% of air pollution. So if you simply recycle your wet and dry waste, you are contributing not only in the area of waste management, increasing ranking of your city for Swachhta Sarvekshan, but you are most importantly minimizing the air pollution. But other benefit include the other resources like metal or plastics, paper, which are already, you can say, we are resource constrained. So they will not put additional burden on these existing resources. It will promote green economy. The quality of life will be improved, and it will be improved, as I said, our smart city ranking. And overall, you will have a clean and a better air. Other things like, that you can walk to work, or you can make use of bicycle. You can take these e-vehicles. You can do the carpooling. Then you can save energy, as we know that electronic gadget like television, our microwave, and other, you can say, products, they make use of 20% energy when not in use and simply switch on so that you can own them with mobile. If we reduce that, it will not only help to minimize our electricity bill, but also minimize the air pollution. Then we should promote sustainable transport for the cities. And at the same time, we should educate our population about AQI, so that they know what to do when air quality is poor or how it is affecting. So they can do most of their activity when air quality is 1 to 50. I hope you know that when it is starting 50 to 100 is satisfactory, but later on, if we go, when it reaches more, so it affect first the vulnerable population and later on even the healthy population. This I have already discussed. And we at the Department of Community Medicine and School of Public Health are working for better air quality. That is why we have initiated this Care for Air move, under which we are making that, please. We are exploring innovative technology, generating new knowledge for air quality and risk reduction. Our focus in capacity building, like today's lecture, dissemination and consultation, and formulate preventive strategies and policy support. The goal is basically to reduce the burden of environment-related disease, so that there is a better health for all. We also working, you can say, with our field practice area, which is in Fatehgarh Sahib, Khera, and our goal is to change villages to eco villages. Eco villages basically focus on best water sanitation and hygiene practices. Household air pollution or indoor air pollution is better managed, waste is managed, water resources are taken care. So reduction in pesticide use, reduction in burning of crop residue, reduction in even use of chemical fertilizers. So these are our focus area, because we want sustainability, eco-friendly, cost-effective. We want to empower youth and engage them in entrepreneurship and job creator, basically. We want to enhance transparency like people say that they produce their crop for their consumption, but rest they make use of any type of pesticide. Then our approach is basically village focused, flexible, and inclusive of all, and we want results. So we have been very active in Fatehgarh Sahib for this. And this is, there was a model also we proposed for sustainable crop residue management, because our goal is that we motivate, or you can say, communities for the solution rather than for being part of the pollution. So this is how we are working with the communities. And the last slide is that you can reduce your emission, and there are many ways. And here you can see from transport, where you can walk or ride a bike and take a bus. Means send your children, not drop by yourself. Basically, you have to think about how we can minimize the waste, and these include like you can properly recycling. Lightning means when you are not leaving your room, simply switch off your light and use energy efficient bulb like LED bulb. And you know that heating or air conditioning, you can really fix that below 20. Nowadays, because of the H3 guideline, the new will be only when you can start when the temperature means you cannot take down below 27 degree. So there were time when you were even using, so that is a optimum condition. So this is how we can minimize. Then office equipment, probably when we don't pay, we don't take care, but this will really helpful that we switch off when we are not making use of photocopier, computer printer, or you can say other these electronic gadget. And we need to focus on this solar energy. And of course, interesting fact is that water heating, it is against the energy principle. Then first you heat and then you mix the cold water or cool down. So that is somewhere more energy is lost. So these are some of the way through which we can manage. Now I am open for the question, answer, and queries. Thank you all. A few things I would like to tell you that we are working on air pollution and climate change module. And not only that, we also work during COVID pandemic. When everybody was at home, we were at work. And these are the few IEC material to guide the children and to make them aware how they can fight or support the fight against the COVID-19. As school are opening, I must encourage you that please download these comics from this link careforcleanair.com, and then awareness, instead of media, it is now awareness, and you can make use of this part of training. At the same time, down you can see that with Punjab chairman, we are releasing a poster that was adopted for by all state of India, because the Center Pollution Control Board finally took over that. And this is guiding common men about how to safely dispose their gloves and mask, even the tissue. Some work we also done in relation to how the COVID impacted. This is first one is for Chandigarh. The second one is whole India making use of 134 station data. Another one about looking at the NO2 concentration. Then we also looked at other aspect of these. And you can see that there are around 20 publications in relation to COVID-19. We just make and having relation. So this is my team. We also make use of this monitoring van and all from community engagement to rural household using a thermometer, sound meter. So all these things we conduct, and that's all. Thank you.
Sir, one question is there in the chat box. If you can see, please.
Okay. Give me a minute. Yeah, now I can see. Actually, when you start presenting, you don't see what is happening there. First thing, I would like to share
So
that link
can I,
which I was talking about, and then
so question is, I'm taking air cleaning towers were invented that clean air in the China. So my question is, can we adopt those in India too?
who asked this question?
So one of the student who is studying here.
No. My query is, I hope this is clear. Can he come and ask this question or not? Okay, let me answer then. As you know that I showed you the hierarchy of air pollution control. What does it mean that this is the last approach we are talking about. The source control means where you are emitting the pollution, that is the best strategy. Now what we are talking about is that, oh, we need to install this air filter or air cleaner. It is like you are not providing the clean and safe water and you are asking people to make use of reverse osmosis or other utility. Why? We need to be focused on source control, and these should be used as a last resort. Second thing, if you heard my lecture properly, when we talk about environment or ambient air pollution, it is very difficult because it depends on air coefficient, it depends on ventilation, it depends on meteorological parameter and air, you can say movement. So all these factors will significantly impact this. Second thing, it might be useful for hotspot, but how effective in terms of energy consumption is not clear. And talking about indoor environment, when we make use of these indoor air filter, you must understand that it comes with a cost. And normally they use HEPA filter. And when you need to change this HEPA filter, which cost around 10,000 rupees, while your total instrument cost around 20,000. So in India, basically air leakage in every home is a very common. You don't use airtight window or something like that. So again, indoor versus outdoor exchange ratio will define how long you can use it. In air quality like Delhi, you can maximum use it for a 1 month. So who will afford this 10,000 rupees changing this filter? At least I will not be able to afford it, but think about the vulnerable population. Those monthly income might be 5 to 10,000 rupees only. So
Right.
can they afford it? So I hope this clear your doubt that we need to think about source control rather than controlling at the end.
So one more question. So now the researchers are focusing more on e-vehicles to replace the fossil fuel based vehicles. But the efficiency of one of the constraint, how can we resolve this problem of pollution caused by the vehicles?
Okay, as I said that the government is promoting, you can say, e-mobility. The reason being is that when you make use of these diesel or petrol, they pollute in a line, as I explained also during my lecture, means they emit at the road where it is difficult because you need 1,000 cars to be placed. And then of course we have this Bureau of Indian standard, which is having from 4 to 6 BIS 6 for car. But at the same time, think about that you have a better technology because of either it is thermal power plant or it is you can say nuclear power plant where there is nothing but heat emission only. So you can restrict these emissions and you can control those emissions better than in a exhaust tailpipe. So that is why the government is promoting more of these e-waste, you can say e-vehicle. Of course, it will result in the problem of battery and other. For that, actually, you will see that there is a focus on systematic recycling of e-waste and these battery waste, which falls in other category.
Okay. Any other query from participants, please, if you have? Participants, if you have any query, please ask.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good
Uh,
morning.
it was a very nice lecture, sir. So we got much more information regarding that climate change and environment pollution, how to mitigate the environmental pollution. So thank you very much, sir, for giving us so much knowledge. Sir, actually, one thing I want to ask, sir. Actually, nowadays, since fossil fuels are non-renewable energy sources, and so the research are focusing on the alternative fuels like biofuels, biogases, synthetic gases, or it may be biofuel or bio-oil like this. But these are not actually completely replacing these fossil fuels. Even though these are so many constants are there, um, but cost economically, if you see the cost of the biofuel production is so high, and second thing is the properties, fuel properties are also not matching with the fossil fuels. So because of that reason, we are unable to use them. So
I think you have very well raised your query and answered it also. How I say answer it, because first is the cost, because they are a bit expensive, and second is that there are some concern about their exhaust, that they might be more toxic. But I would like to highlight you that there are several studies conducted abroad, and specifically, if I remember, Stanfield and other colleagues, they have done a lot of work on this. What they highlight is that the toxicity concern is resolved at this moment, and hence they can be used. But of course, as a you can say, where 20% blend is feasible. And I hope over a period of time, when the price will increase, like diesel or petrol, they used to be somewhere in the range of 50-60 rupees. Nowadays we are paying around 90 rupees. So
exactly.
the cost will match in near future. And
Exactly.
something, yes please,
No, sir, that's correct.
something.
So the question
Yeah,
is how
and
to
something we
reduce
need
the
to understand
pollution. That is
that
the question.
in the past, were we talking about or we were thinking about that we can have class or a means a conference like this online mode. So I think when there will be a significant, we will see significant changes, and the government can help us through policies. And that is why you will see that in the recent budget, several policies has been introduced, which will promote vehicle, means there is a great subsidy, and they are also promoting scrapping policy, which of course, if I will, on our website you are seeing a calendar which we launched yesterday, that is a eco health calendar, and you will see that there was in March, basically there was a world recycling day on 18th of March, and that was just to promote these recycling things, or you can say like vehicle scrapping. So these things were part of will be a part of this. So we see that there are positive move in the recent budget to promote
Sir,
environment
actually,
and health.
I have a one request. So can I do, sir, now?
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm working in a university. That is, name is Centurion University of Technology and Management, which is situated in Odisha. Sir, actually, in our university, we have 26 resource centers. So one
Okay.
of the resource center is Waste to Wealth Management. Um, and so I am one of the member of that research center. Sir, actually, my request is, sir, can you give one presentation to our faculty members, those are present in the research center? So I can send you a request mail.
No issue at all. I think it would be our pleasure, and it is our duty also. As I said, I have not presented here anything scientific. It was a public, you can say, lecture where we were talking about the basics of climate change, how it impact on health, and then air pollution, and how we can minimize it. So because I was told we have participants from various field, starting from various subject to law and other. So that is why I thought to keep it more simple. But if you are more keen, even talking about how we do these activities or how do these research, we will be more than happy to provide that.
So, okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you indeed.
So one more question: how biodiesel and to what extent it can help in sustainable development? How biodiesel and to what extent it can help in sustainable development?
Okay, you know that we have our sustainable goal, and there are 17 sustainable development goal, and there is a specific goal which focus on the you can say clean energy, and that is why we need to think about that over a period of time. These fossil fuel, they will deplete, and the demand will increase. So when we say that they will deplete, the demand will increase, we need to think about how we can make use of this affordable and clean energy. So there the biofuel come, and this goal is seventh goal, which talk about SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. So over a period of time, it will not only enhance the farmer, you can say, income, but also it will be a part of our business system. So when it will be a business system, it will not be as polluting as you see of fossil fuel, because these drilling and other activities, they are very, you can say, expensive. At the same time, they cause major destruction to the environment. Third, there are major oil spill, or there are major gases which escape, like methane, even carbon dioxide, to the atmosphere, and leading to the global climate change. So when we make use of this is a basically based on, you can say, sunlight and other. So it will be more sustainable, and it will not cause major concern. I hope
Yes, sir.
I
So thank
answered
you.
it, and if there is something, I will be happy.
So thank you so much, sir, for very informative, valuable, and knowledgeful talk on air pollution and climate change. And thanks again for sparing your valuable time and expert knowledge with all of us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you indeed. And I regret that I need to leave early because there is a purchase committee meeting, and I asked 10:30, can I come? So I'm running there. I have another
No problem.
instrument to buy. Thank you
Thank you,
all.
sir.
And please feel free to
Thank you,
contact
sir.
on the above link, which I shared. You can also download these. I'm sharing the means from these link, this Care for Clean Air, which I posted. You can download this e-calendar and comics freely. And please feel free to circulate. And very soon
Okay,
you
sir.
will see the material on air pollution awareness there. It is with Ministry for the approval. So once again, thank you all. And I would like to also thank Dr. Bansal, who contacted me and introduced you to you. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So thanks to all the participants for their patience hearing and making this today's session very interactive. Thanks to all. That's all for this session 1 of the day 3 of the 6-day online STTP. Now the time for tea break, and we will again join at 11:15 a.m. Thank you.